Hey, what's up? What's up? This is Chris, the coach here. A few words of encouragement for you. So, I want to start off by saying you're going to have to, something I had to practice is to learn how to regain that trust factor in ourselves, right? And what I mean by that is trusting in our abilities to make decisions, whether they're right or wrong. And I know for myself, it was hard to do that, hard to make any decisions for myself. I allowed other people to make them for me because of how I was raised. Again, you know my story. And one of the biggest things was everyone made decisions for Chris. What house to stay in, what clothes to wear, what, et cetera, et cetera. And then it never changed as I got older. And then what happened was, by default, I had this in my mind that I did not believe I had the ability to make great, especially good decisions, but any decisions. I waited for other people to make those decisions for me. And I had to learn that's not going to work, because the decision that person is making for me may fit their criteria, it may work for them, but it doesn't work for me. And there's nothing against them, but it's just how, if you don't live your life, someone will try to live it for you. I'm just saying, being honest. And so we have to definitely trust in our abilities. And so one of the things is, for me, is I had this fear of making a mistake, because every time, whatever decision I made, it was always a reprimand. It was always, you could have did it this way, you could have done it better, or just give it to me, I'll do it. And so that just beat my self-esteem down. And so one of the things, again, I feared making the wrong choice or disappointing others, and what happens, I made it more challenging to trust myself. The other thing is lack of confidence. Lack of confidence is the ability to do what's best for yourself, or having the ability to do what's best for me or yourself. That hurt the trust in myself. The other thing was ruminating on the past, constantly dwelling on the past mistakes or misfortunes from the past. That'll definitely cause you to not trust yourself, and you'll be kind of resistant to making those changes. So here's the thing I tell you: trusting yourself can help build confidence, making decisions, and can help you to make more decisions more easier. The more you begin to trust yourself. So here's a few things. First of all, I had to embrace the whole me, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so those parts that I did not like about myself, I just said, let me pay attention to that. Let me focus on that. I see the good. I'm going to continue to work on that, but let me work on those areas that I feel that need work on. I had to challenge myself, whatever area it is. The other thing, holding to my values, I would say that too. Your belief system, what you hold true to yourself, holding on to that, that helps you make those decisions. I have a firm belief that everyone out here deserves a second chance or third chance, or they have the right to live a happy life and an empowering life. So guess what? I make my decisions based on that, and so forth. So what is your core value? What do you believe? You have to examine that. The other thing is practicing self-compassion and self-forgiveness. That was one of the biggest things, because I didn't really, every time I did something wrong or I felt that there was an error, I just beat myself to crap. No one else had to do it. I was already used to it, so I just joined in, beat myself. So now I don't care what the mistake is, I just say, oh, okay, I did that, okay, I'll correct it. Or I just move on. Not saying I ignore it, I acknowledge it. Especially if we're talking about dealing with human beings. I don't just hurt people's feelings and say, if I do, I go to them, I apologize. If they accept it, that's great. If they don't, I did my part. And so we have to kind of move on and have compassion on ourselves and realize that everyone makes mistakes. The last thing is holding yourself accountable for your mistakes. And all that is saying is, you know what, I did that, I admit that, I'm gonna make those corrections and then move on. So you can't keep living in the past and keep constantly judging yourself, because everyone on this planet has made mistakes. And so hopefully that helps. All right. Trust in yourself, man. You got this. You have the God-given abilities. You have the tenacity. You have the strength. You have the goals. You don't know what's in you yet until you put it out there. You don't know what you have until you get it out there. Trust yourself. Whether you made the right mistake or wrong mistake. If it's the right mistake, yay. If you made the wrong mistake, that's okay. Hold yourself accountable and say, let me do it again. But don't just stay there and let other people make decisions for you. Trust yourself to make your own decision, because this is your life and no one else's. All right.